so there's probably a little bit of wind, but what I'm doing here is, so this is just like plastic we put on our house to keep because we got an older house, so this is what we use to keep the wind from blowing in with the old windows and stuff. So all I'm doing is I'm gonna measure down there to what I measured my deck will be about. And I'm gonna mark it with a Sharpie, and then I'm gonna cut it with a box cutter. This doesn't need to be perfect. This needs to be kind of about, because I'm giving me a little bit more to work with. That way, in case I do mess up putting out the deck or something, I got a little bit of leeway. This part's trying to get through it all is what I'm realizing, because it's so big and thick. But kind of cut through it. Doesn't need to be perfect. Probably cut a straighter line with scissors, which is what I'm going to do when I'm cutting out the actual deck part after I outline it. But so now I got it cut out. My length was about 95 inches, give or take. So now what I'm gonna do is unfold it, lay it out in my boat, and tape it to the side so it's nice and tight. And then I'm go around the edge with a Sharpie and mark out my outline. Alright, so I kind of went over this already. I'm just gonna get some of this stuff out of the way. And what I'm gonna do is lay the plastic over, unfold it. I got some duct tape I'm gonna use to duct tape to the sides, kind of pull it over this so it sits tight. And then I'm gonna try to go, I might take a square or something so I stay level, or even a small block of wood and put it on top of this, on top of the wood here, so I can get a level measurement all the way around. And that should give me a pretty good outline on my boat. So here's the plastic. I got more than enough here. Again, this stuff's a little bit thicker than what you need, so if you can find cheaper, thinner stuff, I'd go with that because it'll be easier to work with. This is just some stuff we had laying around our house we don't really like using. So I said I'll take it and use it. There is a lot here. I probably did not need to cut this length out. Right, this way I'll make sure I actually have enough to work with. It'd probably be easier if somebody's here to help me or whatever, but you can get it done. Pulling the plastic out as much as I can. And then I'm kind of tuck it up against the edge of the boat as much as possible. And really, I don't need to make an outline for this back end of the boat because it's pretty much just a square cut. So all I really have to do is sit there and measure the width and do it that way. what I'm doing now, because I want to make this easier to work with, and this will kind of give me a basic outline anyway, is I'm cutting off what I have of extra on the edge of the boat. Now I can kind of push it down in there better, and I'll actually be able to tape it and get a better outline. I'm going to do the same on the other side. If you get a real big roll, you're going to have a lot of extra. Like this one I have a lot, because as I said before, this is what we use to like seal the outside of our windows and stuff, because we have an older house, and I know a lot of people do that too. Keeps the wind from coming in if you have older windows, or if like the caulk and stuff on it didn't seal properly or kind of just went bad after a while. So now that I got plastic in there with a basic outline, and a lot of plastic cut off already, I'm gonna go around, kind of push it tight to the wall, and pull this stuff tight. I might even put some clamps on here to hold it tight after I do this side. That way when I go over there and do that, it's nice and tight, and it won't move this line and get all messed up. So basically I want to go to about where it flans out, so right about here. So I'm going to put some more tape here, and then go on the other side, do the same. And then where it flattens out, I'm not too worried, I'll just take some measurements and do that. I want something heavy to go in there to hold it down in the middle. Oh, what do we got in here? Press and go down. I'll put my drill there. Drill should be heavy enough. That's gonna be hard for that to move. Tight. So I kind of get one shot with this. Why is it? I'll do this side first. Okay, so this side's done. The biggest thing is what I'm trying to do right now is keep the plastic tight to the metal while I'm doing it. So this is where I think it's going to get tricky, because I'm going to untape this stuff, because I'm going to pull this plastic down in there instead of trying to pull it from over there. That way it's a more accurate cut, so I'm going to pull it down instead of across. And with this tape here, I didn't make sure it was real level or real pulled across. So but I think this is going to be a better outline. It's going to be harder to trace, but I think I might just tape the plastic down, honestly, and go that way with it. I'm honestly not too worried about after this first half, because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it out of the same sheet of plywood. Okay. There that is. Start here. Now I'm going to make sure I'm tight to the metal at all times. Trying to keep it level on the plywood, or on this cardboard. And if, like I said, if it's a little bit tight, it's okay for it to be tighter and looser. But I am going to seal it off. I just want to make sure I can try and keep all those lines hidden. There's a few imperfections, but that's okay. I'm just gonna go back and fix them. Where they're at, and then when I cut it out, make sure it's nice and. My biggest worry is this point up here, because I want to make sure I get that point about perfect. But the hard part is it's two pieces of metal and a separate piece of metal holding it all together, because this is before they did aluminum welding. So it's all rivets, which makes it a little bit difficult, but not the end of the world. Here, I might have to do some measurements. I'll just kind of do like a base kind of around here, and come back in. And I'm just going to try to keep it level with this wood here. Like so. And just kind of come out. I cut it out with the plastic. Just come around like that. I'm real shaky for some reason. I don't want to mess this up. And go level with this wood again. There's a lot of creases in this plastic. Again, I'm just trying to keep it level as possible. This part I'm not too worried about though being too perfect. It's not going to be level. It's not that pulled tight or whatever it is. I think that tape down here is letting it from not pulling. So I'll step back here where I know it's level and go again. Pull it tight to the metal. Pull about there. And then I can do measurements and figure it out. My biggest worry is this front deck, and it's looking pretty gosh darn good for what I'm doing. And then I gotta figure it out. I'm gonna take this out, lay it on the wood right away with like the plastic and all before I cut it out. And then that's basically how I'm doing the outline of the boat. This might be its own separate video to show kind of how I did it. And then I'll make another, like continue with another video on what I'm doing for the rest of it. So I'm gonna stop the video here, and then we'll pick it back up when I'm got my plywood out and I got this laid out on it so I can get kind of a decent idea. Alright, so I cut it out and it fits almost perfectly. It's a little bit tight once you like stretch out the plastic and pull it tight. It's a little tight, but I'm okay with that because I can trim that down and sand it down to the size I need. So this came out almost perfect how I like it. The only thing is this back line here isn't square, which isn't the end of the world. I just make sure when I cut it, I'll make it a square line. And so plastic outline worked better than what I was trying to do before, and so I'd recommend doing it this way. It takes a little bit of work and stuff, but I think it's worth it in the end because you get a more accurate outline. And then for the back, I'm still debating if I'll do the plastic again or if I will just kind of measure it, because like up here it's thinner. I'll just measure how thin it is there and kind of go down in inch increments or whatever until it gets about flat. So that's outline video done. And then I'm gonna continue recording a little bit about what I'm doing for how I'm gonna cut this out.